The following is rated S for spoilers.
Well then, if it's color we need, let's bring the rainbow.
Bring the rainbow, is that a catchphrase or something?
She's only been a Thor for a minute. I mean, saving lives she's quite good at, but the rest of it, she needs work.
How many catchphrases have there been?
A lot.
Hello and welcome to the Popcorn Hangover. My name is Alex.
My name is Graham.
And today we are talking Thor, Love, and Thunder. I think it was a wasted opportunity to not call it Thor.
Thor 4. Oh,
Thor? Like T4. Like
Four.
T4? Four? I don't know how you would spell that. TH4?
I mean, or you could just spell Thor with a U. Thour. Thor.
That is, you could also do that.
Thor 4.
Anyway, we're talking about the fourth Thor film.
Yeah.
Directed by Taika Waititi, written by Taika Waititi and Jennifer Caton Robinson, starring Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Christian Bale, Tessa Thompson, and Taika Waititi.
Dude, that man's low-key a genius.
Yeah, he's
something, man.
He's doing some things. Released July 8th, 2022. I threw myself off there. I started saying the 1,000 and I was confused. Estimated budget of $250 million, and it's estimated to make $77.6 million this weekend.
It's not bad.
Not too bad.
No.
Critical reception. Rotten Tomatoes has a 68% critic score and 83% audience score.
Okay.
A 7.1 on IMDb and a 3.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Now here's something interesting.
Okay.
So I copied our note formats from. I happened to just click Rescue Rangers and copy it from that format.
Okay.
And so as I was filling this in, the critic score for Rotten Tomatoes was very different. Same audience score. And for IMDb and Letterboxd, this movie was 1/10 of a point lower than Rescue Rangers, which I thought was an interesting.
That is interesting.
Take that as you will. I mean,
that's crazy.
They don't really matter, but like,
no.
That's just. I just thought it was interesting as I was filling that out. Graham, what were your thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder? We saw this separately. We haven't talked about the movie at all.
Yeah, I literally just got out of seeing it. I liked it more than I thought I would. Mm-hmm. Honestly, this movie I don't know if it was just like a bit of like maybe Marvel burnout. Like I know that can't actually happen, or something. I don't know. I just like all the trailers, like the excitement for it, the hype for it, like wasn't there compared to movies in the past. And so I was like, obviously I was going to go see it. Like I'm going to go see it, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I really did. I thought it was fun. It was just whack in a lot of times, but I think that's how this movie's whack. Like not in a bad way. It's just like
that's a good word for it.
Yeah. That's
just Taika Waititi in general. He's a wacky dude. Apparently, I don't know if this is true or not. I couldn't tell if it was a joke, but in an interview, I think it was Chris Hemsworth said that Taika Waititi may or may not be the scream sound for the goats.
Oh, I believe that.
That may 100%. Actually be Taika Waititi. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I kind of same as you. Like, especially when that first trailer dropped, I wasn't particularly excited.
Yeah.
I'm in the minority. I think Thor Ragnarok is good. I don't love it as much as everybody else does. I really like the comic book Thor that is like just big and he's a king and he's stoic and he's not an idiot. And like he still has lots of funny moments, but those funny moments are because he's
an idiot.
A god. Not because he's smart. I mean, he's literally the king of Asgard. Like he's an intelligent being, but like he can't relate to some dude on the street when he's like the god of Thunder, king of Asgard. Like that's where his humor comes from in the comics. In this, they just kind of made him a goof. Like he's kind of an idiot.
He did spend a lot of time with the Guardians, so
he did. But I mean, he was like that in Ragnarok too.
No,
that is true. What did you think about? Did you like the use of the Guardians in this movie? Was it not enough for you?
I thought it was plenty.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have. Honestly, I don't think I would have ever asked for like more. I mean, really, it was just a decent filler, just kind of explaining what's going on or what's been going on. But
to be honest, I almost just wish they weren't there at all. I feel like saying the Guardians are going to be with Thor was very much let's get butts in seats kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, honestly, they had more screen time I thought they would. Like I really thought it was gonna be like kind of like in the trailer how Korg's given just like the little like, flashback story of him like, oh, he's riding through the galaxy. I thought we were just gonna get a montage of like the Guardians and Thor. But no, it was like actually like they were in the ship all like arguing, figuring out stuff with the goats. They were like on the battlefield, like fighting together. Like we saw way more, I feel like, of Mantis than we did in any other movie. And she was in this movie for like 3 minutes. I don't know why. For some reason, she just really stood out. And I was like, she's actually here. Okay. But I don't know. Yeah, I was just like really surprised that we got as much of the Guardians that we did. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Let's just get into the fact that like a lot of this has lots of mixed reviews. A lot of I want to say some people love it, and I think most people are just kind of like meh.
Yeah.
And then there's a very loud group that dislikes this movie. And I feel like in reading reviews and things, it seems like some of those thoughts are that Thor is. They just keep reinventing Thor over and over again. Like he keeps going through the same kind of journey. And on a surface level, I guess he's always trying to find himself. But I mean, it's always in different ways, right? Like in Ragnarok, he's trying to figure out like, who is he without his hammer? That's his whole identity. Or like in Endgame, he's like, how do I deal with like everyone I know and love has been murdered, which I thought was a great way, like in that like little monologue from Korg, just like
he's lost a bit. He's lost a lot actually. He lost his dad. He lost his mom. He just go through everything.
That guy. I also love about this movie that they brought back Sif. That's the thing with Ragnarok. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
I think the actress was pregnant or something.
Okay. So just doing other things.
I think. I don't know. I may be making that up. But yeah, I was always, I'm glad they act like.
Yeah, no, that was cool. Especially to see her too, like at the end. Like she's there. We know she's there. So that's awesome. Yeah.
Let's get into, I don't know, the big headline for this movie, The Mighty Thor. Natalie Portman making a return.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on?
Dude, she was just a beast, honestly. Like, I was like, Natalie Portman's great, honestly. I think, like, I don't think I've watched a lot of her movies, not gonna lie. I can't recall much besides Star Wars and Thor. But,
what about the first two Thors?
What do you mean?
She was in the first two.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you just said Thor 4, like,
no,
that was it. Okay.
4 or whatever. No, yeah, no. Obviously I saw those, but, no, I thought she did great, man. She obviously looked like crap, man. She played that cancer part real well. That was crazy. And then switch back and forth. Also, she was absolutely jacked, dude. Like, I honestly couldn't tell. Like, I heard she like jacked up a little bit for this movie, but like I honestly was like, is that like special effects? Or is that like her? I think it was actually her. And I was like, that's dope. Like,
I didn't realize it until I saw an interview with her. But technically, whenever she turns into Thor, like she's supposed to be 6 feet tall, and Natalie Portman's 5'3".
Yeah,
and she's standing next to Chris Hemsworth, who's like well over 6 foot. But like, and I realized like after thinking about it, like like they kind of walk, like she's like above his shoulder like a little bit. And I guess what they would do is they would literally put her on platforms. They figure out where she was going to walk. And so there are times where like everyone else is walking, but she stands still because she doesn't have anywhere to move because she's supposed to be really tall.
Dude.
So she has to like stand on this platform.
That's
which
crazy.
I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in general, I think they were very creative with how like they did stuff with her. One thing that did bother me was her helmet. I don't think actually exists. I'm pretty sure it was all CGI, and I noticed it every time. Like it just. Well, I was wondering. Quite right.
It looked like just the way it was coming on and off. Like that wasn't like I just didn't feel like a Thor thing, you know. Like that felt like more like nanotech style, like something like you'd see in like Black Panther, like Iron Man hat version. Like I don't know. I thought it was like a weird mix of her just being able to like throw it on and off, but then like Thor struggling to take his helmet off. I thought it was super funny, but. I just, I liked her. I liked like her fit, her like whole on suit and everything was dope. Mjolnir was awesome. Like when she threw it and it split into all the pieces, my jaw dropped for like 30 seconds. Yeah.
I was just like
they showed that in the trailer and I knew that was going to happen. But really? That first time
I only saw the first trailer, so I didn't.
Oh, you didn't see it break off?
I didn't know that was going to happen. So I lost my mind. I was like, wait.
Oh shoot. Yeah. I knew it was going to like split off or it was everyone. Yeah. I saw that part in the trailer, but dude, even just the first time it did it was just like, that was cool.
Yeah. One thing I wish we could have gotten more of was Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth together.
Yeah.
The one quick little like moment where they were bantering and she's like, "Hey, is this gonna be a thing?" I don't know. I just loved that, like the two of them. Like,
I loved her in Ragnarok. She was awesome in this. Honestly,
I never saw Men in Black, but the two of them working together in that.
Oh, I forgot about
new
that.
movie,
Yeah, I never saw that one. I never saw the original Men in Black either. But
okay,
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'll get there. I'll get there.
I mean, okay.
I've only had 20 plus years. We're fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'll get
Everything's fine. Yeah, I wish we got more Tessa Thompson. I really like Valkyrie. It did bother me that they like her name is like Valkyrie, but she's technically
she is a Valkyrie. Yeah. But it was cute. You like called her Val and stuff. Like she just kind of embraced it. And like she's King Valkyrie, and I was like, that's Not gonna lie, I thought she was gone for a minute during that scene, and I was like, wow, they just took her out. I was like, they just took her out.
I feel like everyone kind of died
at some point. Stabbed.
Yes.
Pushed their limits.
Like Korg. Whenever Korg went to the ground, my theater went silent. It was like, it was terrifying. Like,
that was.
He was
just a face. That was really funny. No, I liked that a lot.
I don't know. It was funny, but like, I didn't feel like there were any. I was never worried for anybody.
See, that's the thing. That's what got me though. Is I wasn't worried about anyone, and then in that battle, everyone's going, and I didn't realize he stabbed her with the bowl. I thought he just like straight gutted her with the sword, and I was like, wow, he just obliterated her. Like he just took her out. So that's why I was a little caught off guard because I was like, I didn't expect anyone to really like die here, but okay. But no, and then it's
and I don't know. I knew that one of the two Thors were gonna die just with the way they were setting things up. I thought it was gonna be Chris Hemsworth because I did not think that they would go
Thor 5.
Well, I didn't think they'd go the comic book route.
5.
The mighty Thor does die, and then Odin like puts her in the stars so she can live forever and she can kind of come down and help whenever. I don't know. I thought they were gonna. Natalie Portman's an incredible actor and
actress. Yeah.
Same thing.
It's sad. I know.
And just, I don't know. I feel like having a badass female character is kind of the direction that they're trying to go in. And I thought,
I'm going to say one, like of what we've seen in TV and entertainment and movies for a strong female lead, she was done really well. Same with Valkyrie too. I feel like they always did her well too, but like, I just feel like we never got that weird, like I just honestly just
or like even I would have loved to have like even more like Valkyrie and Jane Foster, like
even just a little conversation,
dynamic
and they just like clean through it away. I was like, dang, I was like, look at you two.
I would love a Falcon and the Winter Soldier like buddy cop type of show with those two. Like
that would be so good.
And I don't know. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because I feel like the whole point of the second post credit scene was saying, hey, like. Here's where she's at. She's in the afterlife, whatever that means. So, we can say magic and bring her back whenever.
Right. Or Heimdall will just open something up and send her back.
Right.
And not gonna lie, I kind of wish. I can't think of his name.
Russell Crowe.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I thought he was gonna be better.
Yeah, Russell Crowe was it was still Russell Crowe, but like I think he was trying to do a Greek accent. It was very odd and distracting.
I didn't like any of it. I just feel like he could have just been like a deep, loud, just controlling voice instead of just like he was just kind of like a nut job, honestly.
Well, I think that was the point. It was like
some Hugh Hefner like Zeus daddy guy. I don't know. He was wild.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think the point was just to make Zeus like just completely ridiculous because he's supposed to be Zeus,
right?
And so. I don't know. I think that was the point.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I understand what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed because Russell Crowe was like one of the big names going into everyone was throwing out there.
Right.
A little disappointing. Christian Bale though, on the other end, Gore very much could have been another Malekith, like just some white alien dude who wants to destroy everything for some reason. And I don't know. The writing was fine around him. It was better than Malekith, but like Christian Bale's performance made that so memorable.
He was outstanding, bro. He was like genuinely terrifying at some spots. He just had like that. I don't want to compare. It's not a comparison, I guess, in this, but it's just some like weird Joker vibe, like to him. Honestly, the way he would just like when he was like terrifying the kids or whatever, and they just like kind of like laugh and chuckle, and then just get like dark and serious, and then they just get like, I was like, what the hell? Like he was so good. He played that character so well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, but like,
no,
it was a fantastic job, and I love how like gore, like the whole opening sequence. I feel like is very reminiscent of how a lot of people like view religion, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that kind of journey.
Oh yeah,
like I don't know,
like giving your life, like
right, and then something goes wrong, and it's like, well,
now what?
Like, what am I even? What is this?
What's my
is this
purpose?
real? Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was a really clever way to like
give him his purpose and meaning of.
Well, just to make this more real, to make people relate to him in some way. Like, even if you don't relate to him, like you can still
imagine what he's going through.
Understand what because you've seen people who've gone through the same thing.
Right.
If that makes sense. So like, I don't know. I thought that was a really clever way to tie it into the real world with something just so ridiculous and out there like this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked how they handled that aspect of things. Also, just like one thing we've talked about, like with Doctor Strange, for example, like how do you make the stakes bigger?
Right.
And I liked that, like the whole plot of this movie is we have to go save these kids. Like it wasn't, the world wasn't going to end. If Thor succeeded, like honestly, the world would have kept turning.
Right.
Nothing incredibly bad would have happened, but like it was still,
yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to like see them like save the kids because
dude, and those kids went off, bro.
Is good.
I was completely unexpected.
That was super unexpected.
Completely out of pocket. I mean, it was dope though.
Yeah, it was so funny.
When he gave those kids little powers, and I was like, this man just lit those kids up. Like they are going off, and they just went ham, dude. They didn't give an F. Those kids had their own sequence of just whatever. They just did what they wanted to do. That was wild.
Yeah, they had like Taika's kids were in there.
I heard that
Natalie Portman's kids were there.
Thor's kids were in there. Like
well, no. So Chris Hemsworth's sons both played like the different ages of
Thors,
Thor,
right?
But his daughter actually plays Love.
Oh,
which makes that whole scene like, cause especially after I learned that before the second time I saw it. And like watching the sequence again, I was like, this
feels
feels like genuine.
Yeah,
which is cool.
That's so sick. And she's gonna most likely, I'm assuming she's gonna be in a lot more coming up.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm worried that she is just going to be we need to explain this thing, or we need something to like trigger this other thing and like cosmic universe. So we're just gonna like set her up, and she's gonna be around, and then when we need her, she's gonna show up for 5 minutes, do her thing, and then
Captain Marvel.
What about her?
No, I just feel like you're explaining her because she's useless unless you need her for like 5 minutes. And I also hate Captain Marvel, but that's besides the point.
You know what? I will not stand for this hatred for Captain Marvel. I've said it time and time again. Whole point of that movie is that she's emotionless and is not a great person.
No, I know, and I know that.
And they shot Endgame before Captain Marvel even had a script, so they couldn't do much with her. That's why she's in there for 2 seconds and then leaves and then comes back at the end. I think redemption for Carol Danvers in maybe the end of Miss Marvel. Probably not, but definitely. I
haven't seen this week's
Marvels. You should.
Yeah, I need to. Dude, honestly, I thought that was so cute at the end. It's Korg finishing out the story, and he's just love and thunder, and I was like, oh damn! I was like, yeah, like that fits so well.
I was kind of just like, I was on board. You know, like Natalie Portman died and everything, like all the way up till there. And then, like Thor's a dad all of a sudden.
Well, I thought I took this as like she's just gonna be a kid at New Asgard. She's gonna run around with Valkyrie. She's gonna train. She's gonna be there, kind of like a American Chavez going to, being with what's his butt, all of them. Like she's just there, but she's not like under someone's like direct protection. This is some like Full House style dudes picking up the kid and they're living life. Like this is
thing is like,
I was like, whoa,
why are you just like Love and Thunder, and then like you show I don't know, that was dumb. I just like, I don't know, I was on board, and then that last scene, it just tanked for me.
Also,
I was like,
just curious, ridiculous. What is she?
That's a fantastic question.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll talk about it in our next segment too, more in depth. I just think Marvel's kind of screwed up in that regard. I don't know when to say they've screwed up. There's an expectation that has been set that everything needs to be about everything. But this was a true, just like solo film, almost like Moon Knight, to be honest. Like other than the Guardians being there at the beginning, this has nothing to do with the greater MCU. It's just carrying on Thor's story.
Yeah, it's true, literally just him.
And I'm cool with that. And this was like 20 minutes ago, but like back to the reasons why people don't like this movie. A lot of people are complaining that they thought it was going to be massive. A guy that I saw it with said, he's like, I liked it, but I'm a little like disappointed because I was expecting like something big to happen,
like a top 3 movie.
Not top 3, like Thanos was going to show up, or like something.
Well, we'd get something
in this grand narrative was going to be revealed. But he's like, how does this fit in with everything? And it fits in because it's Thor. Like that's
the connection.
Yeah, that's how comic books work. Speaking of, I thought this was, and maybe it's just me, but like this felt like this is one of the few Marvel movies in a long time that have felt like a comic book. I said it a little bit about Doctor Strange. Like there were lots of moments that were very comic booky, and I said in that episode that like I want more of that. And this, for some reason, just something about this felt like a comic book to me, especially with the way that all of the things were. The way that like they moved stages and everything just felt like issues of comics.
Yeah,
like, you have your opening, and then you have Omnipotent City. Just like that was like an issue of a story. I really liked the Shadow Realm sequence. I thought that was visually really stunning. And really cool.
When they pulled up and everything went black and white, and I was like, bro, I was like, that's gonna get real. Like that's so cool. That was done really well.
I thought that was fantastic.
But I was like, in the same regard, like I mean, like. From like the very comic accurate costumes that they just threw in. Thor had like 3 or 4 different. Yeah, Thor. He had like his black suit. Yeah, there's like traditional one at one point. He had like the red, blue, and gold, like the big one. Like he was just cycling through outfits like nothing. And I was like, that's so dope. But yeah, seeing all that, like it was really really fun to watch visually.
Can we talk about this new obsession with heroes in the third act getting a black and gold suit?
I don't. Yeah. It's been a trend recently,
he turned on. I was like, "Whoa, that looks cool." I was like, "But
Spider-Man?
That looks like every other suit that every other hero has had at the end of their movie in the last year."
Yeah.
No, I caught my attention immediately.
Yeah. I do have to give a solid applause to Brad Pitt. Absolutely crushed it.
You mean Matt Damon?
Matt Damon. Wow, I messed that up real bad. I don't know why I was thinking Brad Pitt, but yeah.
I completely forgot about that. And when he showed up on screen, my entire theater the first night lost their mind. We were all just like,
everyone was laughing in my theater. That's the thing. I didn't have like a crazy theater, really. Mm-hmm. I had a bad experience. I was right up front, which was tough, but no, like it was everyone's
flashbacks.
Pretty really, yeah, dude, it was bad.
Throwback to episode.
I was literally farthest right chair, second row from the front.
At least this time it was an IMAX though. I feel like it's better with it not.
Oh no, definitely, because I'm able to get a little more of a But I thought it was great too though when they came in and they were like, "This is a great setup for like another one. We got to get this going. Like we got to start." And then she walks away. He's like, "Bro, I didn't hear a no." And I was like, "That's like literally us."
I did think it went on a little too long. Because I think with Ragnarok it made sense because it was just like, hey, here's a really quick recap of the last time that Thor has seen Loki, and like that made sense there. Yeah. But this, you already had Korg like giving his monologues. He gave 3, which it was Taika Waititi as Thor, not as Korg. Yeah. So like it was very entertaining. So I'll give it a pass. But normally like 3 monologues to like, just give exposition like that, direction, like montages. I was like, okay. Normally I would give that lazy writing, but I was okay with it. But like, I don't know. I didn't need to see that Thor's hammer was destroyed or
right.
I don't know. I loved it because it was hilarious, but also like on the other hand, it was really long and unnecessary.
Right. Yeah. I do have a question that I just thought of. I don't know why.
I have an answer.
Did they just answer that long time question where if you put Thor's hammer in an elevator, will it go up or down? Because it seemed to me like they just dug the ground out around the hammer.
No, the question wasn't will it go up or down? The question is it worthy? Because obviously, obviously if you just pick up the ground, then the hammer doesn't move, but
But you can't move the hammer from the ground.
Right. So you can't pick it up. So does that, if the ground can lift it, then does that mean that the ground is worthy of wielding Mjolnir? I think no, because it's not actually wielding it, but
that's fair. That's fair. I just thought that when they had the dome, which I thought was dope. It was just like a little centerpiece thing. Yeah, so I was like, that's cool. Also tragic, bro. Bro just walks past his. I mean, obviously he's kind of Stormbreaker, but I thought that was super a Stormbreaker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I read whatever where it's part of Groot, so it's got feelings. Everyone's like, yeah, he's gonna be salty, bro. That Mjolnir's back, and I was like, that's funny.
Yeah, it was
super creative.
That really sold the rom-com vibe too. It's sure you have Jane and Thor doing their thing, but having the ex-girlfriends and stuff,
the ex-weapon,
quote unquote, that just really, especially in an action movie, gave it the rom-com vibe that I think Taika was going for. Yeah, we're gonna talk more about rom-coms and genres in Marvel movies when we come back. And as we ask ourselves the question, can Marvel win back their audience? Because quite frankly, a lot of people are getting a little fatigued. They didn't like this movie. They're calling it lazy. Obviously, we have pretty much nothing but praise for it.
But, for sure.
In general, Marvel's very, very, very large audience is not entirely thrilled. So when we come back from the break, we're going to talk more about that and dive deeper. So we'll see you in a second.
Dude, I'm so glad we're doing this.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a lot of fun, and it's not as difficult as I thought it would be.
No, not at all. Anchor has made it especially easy when it comes to actually getting our podcast out on the air. Because when hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on all the listening platforms. So easy getting it over to Spotify, getting it to Apple, wherever you're trying to get your podcast to.
Yeah, I think we're on 7 platforms just through Anchor, and not even just the distribution, but even just creating the podcast. There's so many recording and editing tools within it, so you can record, edit, add music in, sound effects, all sorts of things directly through Anchor, and it is free.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's incredible. So if you would like to start your own podcast, just like ours, go to anchor.fm on your desktop device, or you can go on to your mobile app store and download the Anchor app. We are back.
We're back.
Talking Thor, Love and Thunder still.
Four.
Graham, we were talking during the break. We mentioned the second post-credit scene, but we didn't mention the first one.
Yeah.
You've been very vocal about your love for Ted Lasso.
Yeah, that was the best show ever, and I got a really fun surprise. It was a good surprise. It definitely caught me off guard because I was a little upset because I heard a different rumor that I was really banking on, but we saw that Brett Goldstein, who plays Roy in Ted Lasso, is Hercules in the MCU. And during that credit scene, Zeus introduces him, and they're going to get revenge on the world and scare him back into believing in gods or whatever, needing gods or whatever. So I'm excited how that will play out. Because
here's the thing with these post-credit scenes.
Yeah,
I have zero faith that they're actually going to happen.
What do you mean?
Doctor Strange, for example, just because that's the most recent one in memory.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange ends with Mordo being no more sorcerers. And so we just never followed up on that ever. Because
technically they did, but they never gave it to us. So they didn't, but they...
we never actually got it. I don't know. I feel like Spider-Man's the only one with post-credit scenes that actually,
advanced.
Yeah, that I can, remember.
Well, you have all the Thanos ones leading up.
Right, you have that stuff that's building up a great narrative, but I'm talking from
just a random
from solo film to solo film, that kind of stuff is just
yeah.
I don't know.
I think this though, like,
I take it with a grain of salt.
Here's the thing though. I feel like if they weren't trying to set up all like Hercules and like this next set, they wouldn't have had the whole.
Right. Well, and I said
Yeah.
that. A thought just occurred to me. I take back everything I just said. Because I forgot the Thunderbolts are being formed.
Yeah.
And Hercules could be the quote unquote evil version of Thor, or the alternate version of Thor for a Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers team.
Okay.
Technically. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I like Ted Lasso. I think Brett Goldstein's a surprisingly great actor, considering he has zero experience before Ted Lasso.
Yeah. Yeah. Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, he was like a writer and a mediocre like stand-up comic.
Wow. Good for him. Dang, he took off.
Here, dude looks great for like a European football player.
I know, for Hercules, I was like,
Like, especially the second time, like I was like, because I was expecting it, because I mean, he hits quick. It's only like 2 or 3 seconds that he's there.
I
on
was like
screen.
looking at the suit and like checking him out, and then I caught his face, and I was like, because he doesn't like say anything, and the only word I'm really used to hearing from Roy is so I was like, okay, and then I glanced up, and I was like, yo, and I looked over at Lizzie, and I was like, bro, and she's like, I know, and I was like, I know, and we just like freaked out for a
Like,
minute.
the second time I saw it, like I saw like his chest, because like I mean, Hercules, the comic version of Hercules, just kind of wears like a loincloth and like kind of suspenders type of thing. There's no way that's his actual chest. I do not believe that he has like that much like girth and like muscle.
Well, I bet he jacked up. He probably jacked up.
Yeah, I mean, for a 5-second cameo though, I don't know.
Maybe they're filming more. Maybe
I don't know.
he's got something on the way. I mean, I know he's done filming like Ted Lasso season 3, so like he's got nothing else.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. I mean, that finished that wrapped I think a few months ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just I have faith, because Marvel has not let me down any other time with their casting choices. RDJ was a very strange casting choice, and I look at him.
Yeah.
But this might be like the strangest casting choice in my opinion.
I heard the rumors of, he was in the talks with projects. He was working with Marvel potentially, and a lot of people saw him as the potential like Doctor Doom. And I was like, bro, you don't think he would have been a good Doom?
No.
Really?
No.
Bro, I could see it 100%.
No.
Really?
No.
Bro.
I was never on that camp.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Until we see Doom, I don't care. I'm tired of speculating. But you know what? This is a perfect segue.
Yeah.
Into our topic of asking the question, can Marvel win back its audience? Because a lot of people are getting a little burnt out. And like one of the things I've said to a lot of people that I saw the movie with was, I feel like this one especially is kind of like the quintessential marker of, are you getting Marvel fatigue?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this until I was kind of looking at the numbers. This is the 29th MCU movie. So that's a lot.
That is a ton.
That is so many movies. But here's the thing.
Wow.
In the last 365-ish days, I don't remember the exact date that Black Widow came out, but in the last year-ish.
It was like a May. I had like a May or June.
No, it was July.
Was it July?
It was definitely July. It was definitely July. In the last year, there have been 6 Marvel movies. Wow, you're really going to look it up and try to prove me wrong, aren't you? And you're going to be embarrassed because it came out July 9th.
It's not on Google, dude.
Okay, so yeah.
Crazy.
So as of this movie coming out, literally in the past 365 days, 6 Marvel movies have come out. And there have been 5 TV shows on top of that.
Bro.
If you include Loki, because Loki was wrapping up at this point. So
that's fair.
4.5-ish. So we've had 11 MCU projects.
Wow.
In the past 365 days.
That's insane.
Remember when we were mind blown that like Marvel was going to release 3 movies like in a single year?
Yeah. We used to look at like the 3-4 year time chart, like timeline of what they would release.
And it was like 3 or 4 movies.
Yeah.
Yes. Gosh. There have been 11 Marvel projects. And quite frankly, like especially with the shows, they don't, other than WandaVision, we haven't seen a whole lot of tie-in with
tie-in with
anything.
Yeah.
I did see that Captain America 4 has a director now, so like
Dope.
we're getting
getting
kind of
something.
a sequel to that, and we're I don't know, Loki's probably going to tie into at least Quantumania somehow.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on, but there's not any payoff when a lot of these fans got on board because Infinity War and Endgame were these massive events.
And see, that's what I'm worried. Like, that's what I've always like recently been like we had little things to work up to coming with phase 1 through like 4 or 3, really all the way through. And then that all led up to Endgame. I feel like though with like phase 4 and on, they're just doing like, here's a bunch of things that's going to lead to an Endgame, not like, here's your Avengers, here's Avengers 1, and then here's the mix of everything, here's Avengers 2, and like giving us those segues into Endgame. This just feels like, I mean, at this point, everyone's like, dude, Secret Wars, like that's the thing. Give us something for, like, we need like a break in between, because honestly, at this point, I feel like that's what they're kind of gunning for. But,
Right. Well, and I don't know. I was also like a literal child when the Avengers came out.
yeah.
But like, I just feel like in the beginning of the MCU, like Avengers was the goal, right? It was always let's build up phase 1, and then after that, it started to evolve and like, okay, let's build up these Infinity Stones, and now we can. It was a very, very slow burn. We didn't. Nothing was going anywhere until Avengers. Given that was 5 movies, we are now 11 projects into phase 4.
Into phase 4 alone.
Yes, and I mean, people are gonna get burned out, right? Like, I mean, if you are expecting something great from, or something, to be, if you're expecting this to be a TV show, which quite frankly, I think is an over dramatic way of saying that people are, I think it's an over dramatic version of how people are thinking. I don't think they're expecting it to be a TV show, but I feel like that's the mindset that people are approaching the MCU with right now.
Yeah.
You're going to be disappointed because it's not what it is. It's all just, it's a universe. It's not just a single story, but, I don't know. Marvel's definitely losing its audience. It's keeping up to par this opening weekend. But it's Taika Waititi's Thor, so a lot of people who aren't massive MCU fans are still going to come in and see it. I'm curious to see what next week's drop off is going to be.
I think it'll be pretty large, unfortunately.
I think it's going to make its money back. I'm just curious what the percentage of the drop is going to be. Because it's still going to do great at the box office. Honestly, I'll probably see it at least another time in the next week if I'm being honest with myself. Not because I loved it that much, just because like it's just going to happen.
Nah, bro, we got to go see Minions, bro.
All right.
No.
Taking everything in me not to kick you off the podcast again. But anyway.
It's got to happen like once a week. It's fine.
It has to happen. It hasn't happened in a while. You've been really good.
Yeah.
Anyway. There are some things I think that Marvel can do to kind of win their audience back.
Yeah.
Obvious one, like, give us something big, right? Like, give us another Thanos, whether it be Doom or Galactus or whatever. But that's too easy. I will not settle for simple answers that would make our hour-long podcast end in 2 seconds. So we're gonna dive real deep here. Okay.
All right, bet.
So number 1, and this reason I said that this was a great segue earlier, fan castings, or just in general what the fans want, right? Like Feige has gone on record, or it wasn't Feige that said it. Sam Raimi said that Feige cast John Krasinski as Reed Richards because
based on fan want.
Just because the fans wanted it, and if whoever directs Fantastic Four doesn't want John Krasinski, or if Krasinski doesn't want to commit to that all role of what that's going to be, fine. The fans can still get what they want. Brett Goldstein again. Everyone wants more of Roy, but in the MCU.
I honestly don't. Were people asking for that though? Like, in all honesty, like, besides the rumors I heard,
so
I don't think I would have ever just been like, yeah, he should just get tossed in the mix. Like, I would never have just been like, who could have played that?
I wouldn't say it that way, but I think people hear Brett Goldstein is talking to Marvel. People immediately got excited and started fan casting him, and like,
I had rumors
talking could be literally anything.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Damon had to talk with Marvel so he could play a terrible actor.
Loki.
Right. Like, that there's different things there.
Yeah.
How do you feel about fan castings, or even just like fan wishing in general, like the Snyder Cut, for example? Like, and those are two very different things. So let's just talk like casting first, because I think that's on a different level.
I don't know. I think there's two ways of looking at it. I think honestly, like the fan casting, like wishes, if everyone thing with Krasinski, like everyone wanted him. I think if Marvel chose anyone else, it would have been fine. Mm-hmm. I think they chose Krasinski. It was fine. Everyone loved it. Mm-hmm. I think that's just going to go for anything. I mean, I think it's going to come to a point where if they just really do be giving everyone everything they want, like you can't to some degree, because I mean, they did say that they are the comic universe, but I don't know. Like, you kind of got to stick on that storyline. You have all the comics to kind of base off of. You have millions of stories you can use at hand.
Right.
So that's why I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be some point where they do kind of just take the fan casting wishes too far. And at this point they have like no control, because then they're going to cast someone random and people are going to be like, yo, what the hell was that?
Right. You know? And well, I mean, I don't know. I think they are still doing great. Like with Iman Vellani, who we're going to talk about a lot next week.
Yeah.
Kamala Khan, like,
dude, she's awesome.
She is fantastic. Yeah. She is like, I don't know, just watching her, like, as an MCU fan, like seeing her basically being like me, but actually like being a part of it. Like,
yeah. Like,
wow, like I am so happy like for you, because I can imagine how I would feel like if I got to like play this insane role. And I don't know, to like the fan desire thing, right? With the Snyder Cut, I love how at the premiere, Taika Waititi said, yeah, for anything that was like, with all the stuff that didn't make the final cut of the movie, he's like, it just wasn't good enough. You're never going to see it. Like basically saying that there is no.
Well, I heard Homeboy had a 4-hour initial like kind of thing that they then tore apart and made this, which I think is great. But yeah, Natalie Portman said that there was like scenes and segments and like full on like battles, everything they shot and like used, and they just never used it. And I was like, wow.
Like, yeah, I mean, this movie should not have been too much longer.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Snyder Cut, I think in that specific instance, was good. I mean, the Snyder Cut itself still wasn't great, but it was exponentially better than the theatrical cut. Oh yeah. But I really don't like the precedent that's set, like that we can just get
complaining at what you want
version. Right. Yeah. Just go on Twitter and scream really loudly, and then someone will hear you. And even like the Morbius situation, like
they did bring that back.
It's Morbin time. They brought it back in theaters because they thought people would go see it, and like no,
because they didn't wear their suits to the theater, bro. You gotta wear the suit. You gotta bring the boys, and then Minions blows up. I don't get it.
You brought Minions twice this episode.
I'm honestly, like, personally, like, just straight flabbergasted the fact that it has blown up. I don't get it. Like, I could go see that movie, and it's going just to be a Minion movie. It's not going to be anything special, but the fact that theaters are selling out, the theaters won't let you walk in with a suit because they think you're gonna do like.
Well, and honestly, like I don't know, I'm torn on it, because from one perspective, like, yes, like let's spend, and be honest, these are all like children who probably don't have jobs and are spending their parents' money. Like, if you have money to throw away,
it's money to the theater,
right? It's money to the theaters. So great. Like the theater has come back with a vengeance post-COVID, which I don't think many people were expecting. So like on one end, I'm really happy about that. But on the other hand, it's really concerning, because like, what if these studios get the wrong idea, and so they start just making terrible stuff
to blow up?
What if they make a Korg, for example, like a Korg movie? I think would be very similar, like, because the Minions, everyone loves Minions because they love that character. Yep. Korg is like kind of plays the same role, to be honest. Yeah. Like they could just make a Korg movie, and everyone's going to go see it, and they're going to laugh hysterically because it's a Korg movie. And like, but that would be, I can't imagine them telling a good story with just Korg.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Ty can pull something out of his sleeve, but I cannot imagine. I don't think I could handle Korg for 2 hours.
I feel like that's one of those movies that wouldn't do too well, but then like later in life, if you're just like high and watching a movie, like that's the thing. Like it's like a Ted kind of style, like Ted or
Sure.
Ted 2, you know?
Sure. Okay. I don't know. But even with like storylines too, like, I mean, I'm curious, like, if Secret Wars happens, like, I'm curious, is that because that was always the plan, or is it, oh, we listen to the fans really want Secret Wars, even though there are literally 2 of them that are very different. Like, which do you do? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like the precedent that it sets. And I think Marvel has to be very, while I think that could, for a lot of people, I think that could kind of help them win their audience back, or like at least a large portion of them.
That's the thing, is
if they do it correctly.
I think Marvel's just going to be like, not that they'd be scared to lose their audience, but I think at some point they are going to cross a line that's just, they want to keep their fan base. So they just gave them what they want, regardless if it has nothing to do with like the actual character story. But then at that point, I feel like they're going to lose a lot of their fan base because they steered way too far away from comics. And
well, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I think as long as Marvel kind of keeps up their formula, which another complaint for this movie is that it's the same thing we've seen 100 times, 29 times actually. You know, even if they keep doing that, but like, they just keep kind of going off. You can gain some people, but you would probably lose some others. But to be honest, like for us, I can't imagine them ever doing something so bad that I would never watch another Marvel movie again.
Right.
Like, I'm probably going to see every single one until the studio shuts down, unfortunately, for my wallet. But like, you know, like, so I like my concern is that they're going to start doing these fan castings, right? And we're never going to get an RDJ redemption. We're never going to get Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston, who were unknown actors at the time. Or
right.
Amon Viliani right now. Or like, you know, we're not, I want them to keep doing things that we haven't even thought about yet. I don't think it was in the movies. I'm pretty sure it was in one of the Civil War comic books. Iron Man talks about how he's a futurist, and that means that he needs to plan for his goal isn't to create the thing that everyone is asking for. His goal is to create the thing that no one knows that they need yet. And that's
what Marvel should
That's
be
what
doing.
Marvel, I quite honestly, I think that's what Marvel has been doing. I mean, the cinematic universe has taken over pop culture, like this idea, and that was Marvel. Marvel has been way ahead of the game on all of this, and my hope is that they stick to it, even if it does mean a little financial loss. Because quite frankly, you're rolling in billions of dollars.
I was saying, it's not going to hurt them if they have.
I think you are okay.
Right.
But one of the other things I think that they've done really, really well is like mixing genres. Because like we've said in a former episode, I don't remember which one. I think it might have been Everything Everywhere All at Once. We talk about how I hate rom-coms and how you love rom-coms.
Yeah.
Those are words out of your mouth, whether
somewhere out there,
somewhere in the universe, those words were spoken. But like, this is very much like in the style of a rom-com, or like Winter Soldiers is a spy thriller. Guardians is like a family adventure. Falcon Winter Soldier is a buddy cop movie. Like, they're all action Marvel movies, but they're all like within these different genres.
Right.
Is there anything like you want to see more of that we haven't gotten in a while? Is there anything you want to see? Let's never do that again.
I don't think I've seen anything that I've just been like, do you have anything in mind that you're just like, let's never see again?
No, never see it again.
Okay. No, see, I feel the same way. And like, honestly, I feel like they do a really good mix of things. Like that's the thing. They've touched probably on like every single kind of style and genre that we could get. I just say keep that up. Like, there's nothing specific I want, but I don't think there's anything I'd turn down entertainment wise, you know?
I would like to see Marvel do another period piece. Like, I mean, you have Captain America and you have Captain Marvel. I don't know. I don't know. I like it, like biopics and historical stuff mostly. So like, I would like to see them do more of that.
That'd be dope.
Horror is something that they've like been really diving into. I wouldn't call this a horror movie, but they were definitely like
There's some
elements
dark
of
moments.
horror. I mean,
Yeah.
Gore literally said, "Let's take this snake's head off," and like popped it off
in front of all those kids. I was like, dang, yeah. But I mean, also, you take that also bits and pieces from Multiverse of Madness. Not as dark as I really thought they were going to go, but still, it was
right.
a taste of things we've never seen and things like that. And like, I honestly I think the perfect mix of like a entry kind of horror, not necessarily entry, but like Stranger Things season 4. That was dark and very
Extremely.
yeah. But also like I don't do horror. I'm not going to go like The Black Phone, whatever just came out with Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
I'm never going to watch that. I'm not going to go see that. Honestly,
We're going to talk about that next week.
Nope.
On the podcast,
I kind of want to see. I will probably never go see that. I don't know. I'm not a horror guy, but like, bro, I'll sit down and watch Stranger Things, like that kind of level. Like, I don't know. It felt a little more like, I feel like Marvel could kind of adapt like that style horror where it hits you. Oh, this still a Marvel movie. Like, it's nothing too dark, too crazy, but I just want them to go a little deeper in like they could go psycho. They could go crazy.
Right.
I kind of hope they do at some point.
Well, let me pitch something to you.
Okay.
Because this is kind of what I thought the Netflix Daredevil show was going to be. And it's what I really hope that She-Hulk will be. I just want I just want She-Hulk to like, sure, she's a Hulk, whatever.
Right.
But she's just a really great lawyer. And the whole show is just her trying to solve a case, like, Suits or Better Call Saul. I don't need some like...
Dude, that would be dope.
Like, I would... Better Call Saul might be a better example. Yeah. Like, it's just her being a lawyer, and then she gets these superpowers so she can like defend herself against these supervillains and things that she's like defending against. And I think that's going to be kind of what's going to happen. But like with the Netflix Daredevil show, for example, the first episode, we're seeing him in the courtroom doing his lawyer thing. He's really great at it. Yeah. He goes out at night and he like gets one lead from being Daredevil, and then the rest of the show is just not about being a lawyer at all. He's just being Daredevil. Yeah. Like, I was really hoping and expecting it to be like, he got to start as Daredevil because he would like go out at night and he would use his abilities to like get leads and like get information and like fight the good fight, like in the lawyer perspective. How would you feel if like we got these different genres, like a political science kind of thing, like with it being Suits or whatever, and it wasn't, I mean, maybe it has some action because it's a Marvel movie, but like action is not at the forefront. Like with this is an action movie first, but also right behind it is a rom-com. How would you feel like if it was like reversed?
I wouldn't want it.
You wouldn't want it?
I don't think so. I think it'd be interesting if it honestly did well. Because that's just not Marvel's formula. Right. It would be a complete mix-up. I don't think it would do bad. I personally don't think I would want to like.
Well, back to our last point though. Yeah. Like, what if that is the future, right? Yeah. But like they're too scared to try it.
They'll adapt. I don't know. I see that as like if that is the way everything goes, like we've seen, if something needs to be changed or said and someone says it, then everything changes. Like it's going to be, if that is the way the things are going to take in the future, if I want to watch Marvel, that's what I'm going to have to watch, kind of a thing. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, they're never going to like go away from action because comic books are very action based, but there are comics in the Marvel series. I just talked about the Civil War comic run. Like there's a tie-in to those called something, I forget. Frontline is what it's called, and it's about writers for this paper. And so it's just literally just these writers are like going to these scenes of these battles and like witnessing the stuff happening, and they're writing about it. Like it's just about reporters. There's no crazy action sequences other than like we're watching Captain America and Iron Man fight. Like, and it was dope. So cool. Yeah. Or even like in Ultimate Spider-Man, one of my favorite issues is like it's just the entire 20-something pages is Aunt May in therapy, just talking about like her life and how terrible it is, like in therapy. Like it's so interesting, but I feel like we don't take enough time like in the cinematic stuff to like to dive into just like
just to the real life. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it'd be a really weird way to do that because people go to the movie to kind of escape real life. I feel like if you throw too much of that in, it would be a little,
for sure,
not unwanted, not unwelcomed, but it would definitely throw people off. but like that's the thing though, is one issue in every few hundred, every little storyline.
Right.
Give us that. Like, I don't think that would be a problem at all. Like, yeah, if we like even like these shows, like I could see that. Like, just imagine like Daredevil. Like that would be a show where I could just see like if there was an episode in there where it was just like just straight like therapy or just something going on. Like people would sit there and watch. People would definitely watch it, especially if that's going to give you more like backstory, kind of healing style. Like,
Right.
it's probably needed for character development, but it's also like, yeah, it's more relatable. It's something real. Like I would actually like that a lot if they kind of touched in on that a little more. Like I think that like that's kind of how I feel like watching Miss Marvel a little bit.
I was just about to say, yeah, Miss Marvel is like really close to that point.
Because like I feel like there's a very close like, I guess not really. I kind of see like it could like Miss Marvel could have gone two ways where it's like there's Peter Parker, he's got abilities, he's picked up by Tony Stark, he's an Avenger, like he's just a boy got rocketed up that league. Like she's like, hey, I got power. She's like, I really like these heroes. I want to be a hero, but she's just stuck where she's at. She's just a kid. Like she's just and that's real. Like she can't really be doing much. And like
Right.
That's why I'm just like, dude, that's like super. Because like, dude, if I got powers, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't know where I would start. I don't know where I would go. Like, I don't have a Tony Stark just to like hit up or be like, hey, like, sponsor me, give me a dope suit. Yeah, like that's the thing. So that's why I'm like, I do like Miss Marvel for example. I really like that show. That is done really, really well, and that's kind of like I like it to be a little more relatable. But I don't know. I feel like they shouldn't. I hope they don't switch anything up unless they like absolutely have to.
Yeah.
And if they have to, then I think there's something wrong. But
That's fair. That's a fair point. Yeah, I'm excited for next week's episode
it's gonna be good.
on Miss Marvel.
I gotta catch up, man. We gotta do that for now. I'm excited for that.
Speaking of Miss Marvel, my last thought of what could be losing Marvel's audience and what could maybe bring them back. They've had 11 MCU projects in the last year. And sure, a majority of those are movies, but
Right.
The shows are not too far behind.
Yeah.
Do you think that there are too many shows, and maybe like subheading, like are these shows carrying enough value? Is it worth every Marvel fan's time to spend 6 hours watching all of these shows?
I think yes.
You think yes?
Only because
yes, they should be, or yes, there's too many.
No, yes, they should be.
Okay.
And I think the main reason is because as of now, we only have one season of every show. Okay, Loki's getting a second season, which is deserved. It's going to be really well. I don't have any worry about that. But like
everything else is a limited series.
Exactly. And I think that's a really fun part because if they want to give that character a movie or they want to continue the show, they can. But like, I don't know. I feel like there's a really weird, like the biggest example that comes to mind is just like the Defenders. Like, sure, they were Marvel projects, they were Netflix projects, but like those were never going to come to the big screen really. Like it had a weird mix. I know there was a lot of like right issues and things like that, but like with these, they're doing it in a different way that I don't think it's bad, honestly. Like I think it's worked really well because it is a lot of content. And like a part of me just keeps thinking of that meme that like I saw a few years ago that was just like, when I'm like 80 years old and my grandkids have to watch like 800 movies and like 97 shows or something just to understand what I'm talking about. Like at the time I was like, that is funny. Like that's funny. But now I think the big thing with everyone's fatigue is they realized like, bro, that is actually, that's what I have to do in current time just to catch up. And like, I feel that way, like just talking about things at work. I have to ask them like, have you seen this show? Did you watch this movie? And did you see the second end credit scene of this movie for this? And it's just because I don't want to spoil something, but I feel like a lot of people like, dude, even in this movie, it is a core character Marvel movie. Like, there's post credit scenes. Half the theater got up and left before the first one, and I was like, I just want to stand up and be like, sit down, like you're about to miss something dope. Like, sit down, like
Right, but like I feel like Marvel's general audience just doesn't care as much, or like.
They don't think they just do at that point.
Or I know a lot of people who just watch the movies. They don't really care for the shows. Or they'll watch the shows with like, oh, I really like Scarlet Witch, so I'll watch WandaVision or whatever. Like they'll just watch the stuff that they care about.
Doesn't like Scarlet Witch.
I mean, Miss Marvel is the least viewed show on Disney Plus so far.
And it's one of the best.
And it's the highest rated, which I don't know. We'll dive into deeper. We're giving a lot of teasers for next week. We could just
get in 2 episodes pretty much.
We should just repost the same episode. It's going to be the same thing. Yeah, so like we'll talk about that more next week, but like people are kind of just picking and choosing, and I almost wonder if the risk that Marvel is running into, and if they even care, to be honest, is if all people like us who maybe aren't as passionate as us but are watching everything. Part of me wonders if they're going through What If and thinking, why am I watching this? Right. Or Moon Knight, why am I watching this? And they're getting burned out on it. They don't care for the movies. And then you have this other audience that isn't really engaged in the story a whole bunch. They just enjoy Taika Waititi's Thor being a bumbling idiot for 2 hours. And that's just fun for them. Yeah. Kids that just like to see cool lightning action sequences. Yeah. Right. So I don't know. I think Marvel is going in a direction where a lot of their audience now is, I don't want to say now, but if they continue in the direction they're going in, without a ton of innovation, I think that they're going to end up in a spot where sure, they're making lots of money, but they don't have the passion of as many fans, or the same kind of passion
for sure
from fans.
Yeah.
Graham, any final thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder or Marvel winning back their audience?
So many thoughts, man.
So many thoughts.
I do.
We are out of time.
Oh, no, we definitely are.
So give us one.
I would say, man, I don't know. Honestly.
30 seconds or less, preferably.
30 seconds or less, goodness. No, I'm just going to say, Thor: Love and Thunder, honestly, a really good movie. I walked out of the theater with my wife, and she asked me if we should name our first daughter Love. And then we remembered the show You on Netflix, and I was like, let's not do that. But it was a really fun movie. It was super, super cute. I enjoyed it throughout the thing, but I don't know how they're going to go. Thor's going to return. They did let us know.
Thor will
Thor
return.
who, though? I'm just kidding. I heard like a bunch of people say that.
5?
They're like, Chris Hemsworth Thor or Natalie Portman Thor? Which Thor? Because like she's alive, and I was like, no, I mean she's
she's
dead. She's the Mighty Thor, right? But yeah.
But anyway, you've been listening to The Popcorn Hangover. My name is Alex. That is Graham. Check us out on all of the things:
TikTok, Instagram,
Patreon.com/The Popcorn Hangover, and we will. First, let us know what your thoughts are on Thor: Love and Thunder, whether it be on YouTube or on Instagram DMs, and we will see you next week.
Peace.